Hey, this is Akebono Gregory Imanovich Jr., and if you saw from the title, this is the Game Room Project Revived. I had aspirations to put this room or turn this room into a game room a while ago, but had some financial and personal delays, but now I am back on it. And the newest addition that really spearheaded and got this project really back on track is this Golden Tee arcade right here from Arcade 1-Up. And if you've been to Best Buy, Walmart, or Kohl's lately, these are pretty affordable arcades that you can have for yourself in your own home. And these cabinets typically run about $250 to $300. This one happened to be $500, and I think that had something to do with the licensing. So it costs a little more, but it does come with 4 games, so the Golden Tee, Golden Tee 2K, Golden Tee 1999, and 1998. You'll typically get like 4 or 5 games per cabinet, maybe even more, and very easy to mod. So if you want to put more games on these things, go out on YouTube. I personally don't know how, so please don't ask me for instructions, but there are plenty of other people who put instructions out there on YouTube. Plus it comes with this riser, so it makes it able so you can stand, because if not, as you see from this picture here, it's pretty short and you'd be kneeling on the floor. So it does come with the riser, and that's become more of a standard thing right now. This is like a Gen 2 of the Arcade 1-Up cabinets. But yeah, pretty happy with it. It's like doing IKEA furniture. Only took a couple hours to put together, and then had 0 flaws as far as the electronics go. Now you do have to be careful with these screw holes here, okay? So don't over tighten them. As a reinforcement, I went ahead and used some wood glue. Oh, kicked off there. I don't even know why. But let me turn that down a little bit. There we go. Yeah, so it's easy to strip, so don't over tighten. Even with me not over tightening, some of the MDF stripped right away. So I use a little wood glue to reinforce. So but like I said, this is going to be the game room. It's a bit of a mess as I pan over here right now. Here's one of my cats, Sumiko. But most of this gear is going to get moved out of here and put somewhere else, because I want to put more in this room. But like I said, one thing at a time. So let me give you a quick tour of the game room, and then I'll talk about what we're going to do here in the future. So as you see here, this is a 1983 OG arcade game. Yes, the ones you played in Chuck E. Cheese back in the day, or arcades if you were around then. But it's a vector graphics, and what made this game so unique is this yoke. This game has been available plenty of times on PCs and other consoles, but without this controller, it's what made this game so unique. And I was happy to get a hold of one of these things here, and as you see, I'm decorated with my life-size Stormtrooper helmets on there, so the Death Star plans are not my main computer. Sorry, I had a little geek moment there, but that's what this whole video is. It's a big geek moment. So yeah, this thing still plays. I don't play it that often because I'm hesitant. I'm not too much of an electronic guru. I am learning, but the thing is that I want to preserve this as long as possible, and I'm going to be able to do that and with another solution that's going to be coming out here soon, and we'll talk about that here in a second. And then here is my Bartop arcade that I built, or actually I should say it's a kit. So I bought this kit from Ryan at Game Room Solutions, GameRoomSolutions.com. I'll put a link in the description below if you're interested. But you can do as much as you want, or as little as you want, with this Bartop arcade. And he's got many different options to pick from. And all these graphics here are custom. That's one of my nicknames, is Gee on top of the Akebono radio. Currently, no, we're not Akebono radio, just Akebono, along with Akebono. Bunch of nicknames, can't even keep up with them. I got so many nicknames. So anyways, this is a Bartop arcade, and it runs off of a Raspberry Pi, which is roughly that size. It's a very small computer board, and this particular image has over 2,000 games, or no, 5,000 games. So I have not even come close to touching what is on here, and everything is set up on gameplay, or not gameplay, free play. but you still have to coin up. So here's the coin button here, and then you hit start, and then player 2, depending on what you're going to do. And it is 2-player, as you've seen here. But yeah, I picked the graphics, I custom, I learned a little bit of Photoshop. I used a free program called GIMP and taught myself a little bit of how to use GIMP. Very easy to do. YouTube is your friend. Like I said, this is not a tutorial video, so you got there and figure it out yourself. And then, of course, my beloved Corps. Yes, I served in the Marine Corps, and always will be a proud jarhead, even though I happen to be a big geek. But blame them for my computer interest. Never really messed around with computers much until I got in the Marines. It wasn't my job to fix them, but I worked on them and I tinkered with them, and you know, never, or only had to call the tech guys if it was something absolutely that needed to be done here. And then, of course, the Golden Tee, as we just talked about here. Very excited to play this. I literally just put this thing together like an hour ago, and I said, let me make a video. I haven't made a video in a while. And then, of course, trusty old Watto from the Phantom Menace. Acquired this many years ago. This was a promotion, 1999, during the Phantom Menace release. So they had him, Jar Jar, Darth Maul, which is really cool. And I forgot there was one other character, but I don't know. It's life size. It's lasted. Got all my Star Wars Celebration tags I've been to, and that's that is the convention for Star Wars exclusively, if you're not sure what Star Wars Celebration is. And then moving on here in the corner, you got to know this game or you've been living under a rock, but this is Super Mario Brothers, and it is playing off of original hardware. It's playing here off the NES, the classic NES, and I just found out recently up north, our friends up north called them NES, but I've never called it NES. I'm going to call it NES, and if it looks a little different to you, it is. And you know what? Let me get a light. I'll be right back because it's a little dark. Not the greatest, but a little better. Just a little dark. But as you see, it's not the NES you remember. This was actually version 2 of the NES, and what changed is that it's a top-loading cartridge, because remember the old spring thing? Blow on the cartridge? Blowing on the cartridge was actually pretty bad for the cartridges, I found out, because your saliva could ruin the contacts on the cartridge. So they came out with this version 2 where it's just a top loading, and it really copies its sister, the Super Nintendo. But let me pan back here a little bit. As you see here, this is the classic console section. So just being a love of games, I had to put together a classic console section, and going back as old as the NES. And then right next to it is its older brother or sister, the Super Nintendo. This is actually version 2 of the Super Nintendo as well, or Super NES, not Super NES. So got a bunch of games on that. Oh, and then back to this cartridge here, Super Games 150 in 1. This is an unauthorized cartridge that I bought off of Amazon, but it's basically 150 games on one cartridge, so I don't have to swap out that much. You just use a menu system and pick one of the 150 games on there, and of course it still plays the original games as you see here. Got to have Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, because that license only lasted a few years, and then Mike Tyson was no longer on Punch-Out anymore. The game was exactly the same, except for at the end, there was a guy called Mr. Dream, I believe. And then moving down, we get the next in line to Nintendo, the Nintendo 64. And then got the GameCube, Wii, and down here at the bottom is right at the end of the 90s, early 2000s, we do have a Dreamcast and a Xbox. So no Atari in here. I know some people are like, where's the Atari? But here's the catch with all that. I have Atari on this guy, on the Bartop arcade. Those 5,000 games I mentioned, it is on here. No, I'm not going to go through the menu system right now, because it's more just a game room review and talk about it. Talk about what we're doing in here. But yes, I can play most of the Atari 2600 games on this Bartop arcade right here. So let's get back to this game and what it happens to do with the Arcade 1-Up. So Arcade 1-Up has become very popular now. They're selling like hotcakes. Some of them are even hard to keep on the shelf. Well, they have got the license to make this cabinet right here. and most importantly, this yoke. So it is going, as you see, there is a quite difference in size, but it's going to be on the arcade 1-up size. So that is going to arrive in October, and I plan on putting it right next to the Star Wars, because if you went to an arcade when you were a kid, a lot of the popular games, they had 2 or 3 stacked of them right next to each other. So how cool it's going to be to have the arcade 1-up Star Wars right next to the original. And what I like about having that is that then I can preserve this as best as I can without having to tinker with the electronics. Just use the arcade 1-up. And the arcade 1-up Star Wars version is going to come with this game. It's going to come with Empire Strikes Back, which was the motherboard, daughterboard add-on that they put. There's a daughterboard add-on that they put to this cabinet here. And then they also had a Return of the Jedi game. So it comes with the 3 games. Same price of $500. Little steep, but this cabinet right now, because retro is cool, this cabinet right now would run you over $2,000 if you can even find one. Even further, if you can find the sit-down version, I've seen those sell as much as $6,000 to $10,000 because they don't make these anymore. They're very hard to find. Unfortunately, when arcades started dying out, a lot of these things just got destroyed and crashed. They demolished them. So it makes it even more rare to get original hardware from the 80s and some of these 90 games. But thanks to Game Room Solutions and Arcade 1-up, they're making some of those arcade dreams come true. So yeah, very excited. So October, that other one's arrive, and I'll put it right there. Watto's gonna have to move, but like I said, I'm gonna be shuffling things around here. I've got aspirations to actually put arcades all up against this wall. So eventually all this media is going to move. It's not going to go. I'm not getting rid of it. I have gone all digital download now. Legitimate, by the way. I don't steal movies or games or music or anything like that, but it's just over time, just being a movie buff, even compact disc, which, you know, these are still compact disc forms, take up a lot of space, especially the amount I have. And then moving here to the other side, the futon will get moved out of here, and I want to put one of those cocktail tables right there. I think it'd be perfect against the window with the 2 stools. So here's a picture of the cocktail table I plan on purchasing, and then these speakers will get put somewhere along with a Yamaha amplifier that I have, and then I'll just hook up my phone up to it to play music. And then all amongst the I don't know what you call the corner joint from the wall to the ceiling, but anyways, all around the corner here, I plan on putting blue LED rope light or neon rope light. So that's really gonna make it feel like an arcade. And then down here on the floor, found a company that will, for the area rug, I'm gonna turn it into one of those UV area rugs. So yeah, that is the plan. So the next 2 steps is getting that arcade 1-up Star Wars version, and then the cocktail table, put on the neon lights, get some of this junk out of here, and then get the stereo system hooked up. And I think I'll be pretty happy. I mean, this ain't gonna move anytime soon, because beyond getting one more of these systems, I won't have to move this quite yet until I start building up more of that. But that's way down the road, because I'm telling you, between the classic console section, this 5,000 games on that. Yeah, this is only one game, but it's still fun as heck. I got plenty to play. Plus, I've got an Xbox One and a PlayStation 4. So it's like, yeah, I am not bored when it comes to gaming by no stretch of the means. So that's a quick video of what's going on in here. This has always been like the man cave, the playroom, but my whole house has turned into a man cave now. But still a fun room. I'm gonna try to keep up as much of this stuff as I can, because it's neat, and all the old school looking toys and Star Wars and G.I. Joe. I'm gonna try to keep them around here as much as possible. But it is just a bedroom, so I'm doing as much as possible. So I will go ahead and sign off. If you got any comments and suggestions, let me know. If you want to see a playback video, let me know of that. Like I said, I really didn't do a playback video. Wasn't interested in doing that right now. But since I just put that bad boy together, I'm going to be playing that. So so yeah, if you want to see a gameplay video and quick review, I'll admit I love video games, but I'm not going to sit there and say I'm the best. But still have enjoyed and love playing them anyway. So take care, and I will talk to you later. See ya.